Let's get started. This video is about the comparison of WhatsApp, Signal, and Telegram app. The reason we use WhatsApp or similar apps is that we can have private, non-judgmental conversation with our friends and family. You may want to see a small TED Talk video on why privacy matters. Link is in the description. And if you feel you have nothing to hide, well, I'm sharing my email address also in the description. Please send me all of your private communication, just for fun. Let's talk about how exactly WhatsApp sees personal data. In the beginning, WhatsApp was operating on subscription-based model. So whenever they needed funding for infrastructure expansion, they would ask money directly from consumer. This way, they were directly accountable to consumers. Once it was acquired by Facebook for a huge amount, it was clear that it needed to have solid monetization strategy. That said, even now, WhatsApp doesn't look into your personal chats, but they know when we connect with any of the business accounts. Chat with business account is not encrypted, and it can be analyzed further for better advertisement. Also, they can give this info to third party if the need be. Still, this is not a major concern. The concern is, why does WhatsApp require to store and process our information, which other apps don't even require to store? Consider Signal, for example. It can provide all private communication without ever storing unnecessary data. Signal was created because one of the founders of WhatsApp was not happy with the way Facebook was handling WhatsApp, especially the change in monetization strategy. Telegram has an interesting story. Yes, the founder is Russian, but one needs to understand that he left Russia for the reason that he was not ready to give up private information of consumers of the social network he was a part of. This strong fundamental sense of privacy is really admiring. When we talk about privacy, there are two major aspects to it. One is the privacy of messages in transit from sender A to receiver B, and the privacy of the messages which are archived or backed up by any of the user. Privacy of the message in transit is handled with the help of encryption. There are different encryption protocols which different apps use. Signal has created Open Whisper protocol for end-to-end encryption. And all thanks to the open source code of Signal, this protocol was later adopted by WhatsApp, which by the way is closed source. WhatsApp and Signal pride themselves in saying that once a message is sent by, say, Romeo, then only Juliet will be able to decrypt that, and not even Signal or WhatsApp will be able to read it. If we look into details, we can see that there is a difference between how WhatsApp and Signal use encryption in transit. Signal chats are blocking, whereas WhatsApp chats are non-blocking. Let's consider this with an example. In end-to-end encryption, your mobile device acts as a key to the encryption. So, mobile phones of Romeo and Juliet act as a key for opening the chat messages. What if Juliet changes her number or device? Well, then a new key has to be created so that messages can be opened and read. Ideally, when Juliet changes her device, Romeo should be notified that the key is changed. And unless the communication is authentically maintained, messages should not be sent. This is called blocking chats, which is used in the Signal app. In case of WhatsApp, messages continue to flow even after change in the encryption key. WhatsApp shows only non-intrusive notifications, and it is up to Romeo whether to check authenticity of the chat or not. This is called non-blocking chat. This can result in man-in-the-middle attack, wherein a third party can act like a receiver in middle, read messages coming from Romeo, and then simply route it to Juliet. Apart from man-in-the-middle possibility, WhatsApp has faced incidences like WhatsApp backdoor in the US a few years ago, and as recently as last month, group chat information and mobile numbers of millions of users were found on Google search, all because someone hacked into the WhatsApp web. Bottom line is, the end-to-end encryption of WhatsApp is not exactly foolproof. In Telegram, there are two types of chats: secret chat and cloud chat. Cloud chats can be one to one or group chats. On the other hand, secret chats are one to one only. It should be noted that both the secret chats and the cloud chats are fully encrypted using MT-Proto encryption protocol. When I was doing research, I came across so many videos which simply ignore this part. They tend to talk about end-to-end encryption of secret chats, but forget to mention the encryption of the normal cloud chats. Unlike WhatsApp, Telegram doesn't have problem of man-in-middle attack. This is because for each secret chat, a new session is opened. So, if there is a change in the mobile device, a new secret session is opened, which clearly indicates that a new mobile device is used. Now, let's talk about encryption in archival. In case of WhatsApp, backup files are not well encrypted, and hence, when you install WhatsApp on a new phone, this new phone can restore the chat history from your Google Drive or iCloud. Some people might argue that it is personal choice as to where they store their conversation. I don't agree with that. If it was a personal diary, then it is completely up to the individual on how he or she stores the data. But communication involves other users as well. May that be one to one or group chat. It is a responsibility for each member of communication to maintain the privacy. When WhatsApp chats are backed up, these backups can be hacked into. Also, it is easier for the governing bodies to ask companies like Google and Apple to hand over these backup files. This may be the reason why most government bodies want the data server to be in their country. And this is probably why WhatsApp shows a red indication mark to pester you to take backup. So it doesn't matter if the chats were end-to-end encrypted, because backup is not well encrypted. Signal handles this in a quite cumbersome way. In Signal, all information is device specific. So if you're moving from old mobile to new, you'll have to take backup just like WhatsApp and then restore it in the new device. So Signal has the same problem as WhatsApp. And in case you lose your mobile, you will lose all the data. All those messages, photos, documents, gone. Telegram doesn't store your secret chats at all. Cloud chats, on the other hand, are backed up in the distributed database, which means that the chats and the key to open these chats are broken and stored in various databases across the world. So these chats are not under jurisdiction of any single country and hence can't be broken into from any single country. This, I feel, is more elegant way of archiving chats. Telegram owns up encryption of archives so that none of us has to worry about backups. To this date, Telegram has not handed data of any users to the government entities. Now, let's discuss problems. WhatsApp's parent, as we all know, is notorious to use consumer data aggressively for advertising. So it collects and analyzes the data which they don't need to. WhatsApp is not free. We are paying WhatsApp by handing over our business interactions and personal data. That is, we are paying by our privacy. Good part about Signal is it is based on privacy, but there are a couple of problems with Signal as well. First is, when it comes to moving from one mobile to other, it is a bit tricky. And second is the encryption protocol. It is interesting to know that the Open Whisper protocol used in Signal and WhatsApp for end-to-end encryption is developed by Signal Foundation. This foundation is funded by the Open Technology Fund, and for this fund, the major contributor is US Agency of Global Media, which is an official US government entity. So I won't trust this encryption blindly. Also, since Signal claims to give you absolute privacy, it may give governing bodies the false implication that active users might be up to something, and hence your mobile number comes on the radar. You know what I mean? Telegram's cloud chats are both pain and boon. It's great that these chats are backed up safely in the cloud. It's great that these chats are distributed across the world and can't be hacked. But if some member of the group raises concern about content in the group chat, Telegram moderators can access the chats and can act upon illegal content such as child pornography or drugs by closing down these group chats. So, what's the conclusion? Well, when it comes to encryption, it's always about the balance between privacy and ease of use. Telegram is an app which strikes it well. Signal and WhatsApp can't match this balance. Signal has to work on ease of use and WhatsApp has to work on safeguarding the privacy of their users. You will have to decide what you want to sacrifice. So take your decision wisely. That's about it. Thanks for watching.